So I've been working in this Redis stream for chat. So let me just try to explain the problem that we're having right now with V3. So right now, every time you ask a question in this prompt bar, um, this goes through our backend systems, right? Which generate a workflow to be processed. What happens right now is that the same server that receives that message needs to be the one that processes the workflow. So for example, right now in production, we only have one server doing everything in V3, right? This is a problematic because we cannot have only one server doing that. So when we try to put two servers, what was happening is that server A was receiving the request, the prompt, and server B was trying to process it. And this communication between them, there was a flaw over there that was not happening. So we have to solve that. The way it works right now, we add like a queue message in the system. Basically, the publisher here will be the workers from temporal that we have for our processing tool calls and everything else. So they're going to publish messages to this server, and the server that is responsible for streaming things for the user is going to subscribe with those messages and stream back to the user. This way we can have multiple workers on temporal and multiple servers handling HTTP requests from users. This is the simple that I can get into this complicated architecture. So for example, if I ask right now, so this is done, this is implemented. I have a pull request ready here to merge. I'm going to show how things work in logs and simulate a couple of scenarios. So if I ask, who was the greatest NBA player of all time? You see on the logs here that now we have messages happening. It's too small, not sure. We have messages happening in publishing messages to the stream and consuming messaging from stream. So this happens on the same server, but it could happen in different servers right now. And what I see here on my UI is, again, in production, we're going to have one server doing A, and like the server B could be processing the message, and server A could just streaming that to me, right? Again, for user, they don't see any difference, but for us, it's important to have this scalability. One thing that I want to simulate is that I can now simulate like a failure here. Again, the UI is going to crash here, but the workflow is still happening, still running here, right? Eventually, what we want is to this not to fail. So for example, if I restart the process right now, the process is going to see that there is something pending here, and it's going to start continue like like that one. Just let me just do one more time because I got in the final step. Um, the best NBA team. Okay, so it start processing. We start have a plan here, and now I'm going to just crash the server again. We have a bunch of tool calls here. They're going to likely time out. I'm going to resume the server. And this could be like another servers coming up to pick up those tasks. You see that there was an attempt here, it's going to time out, but this one should pick it over. And you see when that picks over, it starts publishing messages to the stream again. And if you wanted, we could handle this in UI eventually later, just to stream all those messages again. Again, we're not going to have a workflow failure here just because the server crashed, and we still be able to continue streaming the process to the user. Right now, we're not persisting the chat here, but in the backend, it should work. Yeah, that's it for me. Very technical, but it's important.